An awesome day to you, awesome people, and welcome to another week of What's Your Story, where we share, empower, heal, and inspire. My name is Shanrika. I'm your host or hostess with the mostest, bringing you your midweek awesomeness. I truly thank you all for joining us, whether you're live or on the replay, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I ask that you please like, share, comment, hit the icon button, subscribe, and all of that great stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, and I appreciate it very much because you could have been anywhere in the world doing anything, but hey, you're here with us and it's not taken lightly. But to let you know, set What's Your Story comes to you every Wednesday. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the set time for it. However, it may, change a little in time because everybody is busy. So we're just all trying to get on the same schedule with each other. But it is brought to you by Kids Love Money, which is a book series that teaches children financial literacy one concept at a time. And it is available at kidslovemoney.shop. There is a bundle that is on sale right now. So that will be a great gift for a child that that's in your life or that's in your neighborhood or whatever the case may be. But it will be a great stocking stuffer for them. And there's also a new book edition, which is the savings edition. It teaches them the basics of savings, how to save, learning the difference between needs and wants. It talks about interest and things of that nature, how you make transactions. So hey, check that out. Again, kidslovemoney.shop. And also, What's Your Story is brought to you by Say Something, which is an online store where you can find custom apparel, which is my brand, Gugoji, and it was birthed out of the entrepreneurial spirits of elevation, which is learning, demonstration, or initiation, which is doing, and then demonstration, which is teaching to others. So check that out at saysomething.company.shop. But again, thank you all for joining us for your midweek awesomeness. And I have another awesome guest as usual. So hold tight. We will be right back with you. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, wonderful people. Again, thank you all for joining us on What's Your Story, where we share, empower, heal, and inspire. And this week, I have another awesome guest. This beautiful queen is a doula. And I don't know a lot about it, but I sure wish I had one when I had my children because the services and the support that they provide, are essential. I think are essential and would help. I think it would help us not go through so much of the postpartum depression. I think it would actually play a part in that. But anyway, let me bring on this beautiful queen so she can tell us what she do and all of that great stuff and how you can reach her, which her information is scrolling at the bottom. But hey, here she comes. Awesome day to you, beautiful. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much, and thank you for agreeing to share your awesomeness with us all.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I am honored to be able to bring you on to share you with the world. So I'm going to let you. I'm not going to take the floor or do any more. I'm going to let you go ahead and tell people who you are and what's your story.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shanrika. Good morning, everyone. My name is Harvey. I am a doula, a certified breastfeeding specialist, and an advocate for birthing women and families and birthing persons in Baltimore and the DMV area. It is such a pleasure to be here with you this morning. So what is a doula? A doula is someone who supports birthing moms and birthing persons throughout the childbearing year and beyond. So that's pregnancy, that's childbirth, that's the postpartum period, and sometimes far beyond that. I still have contacts with people far beyond their pregnancies and childbirth years later. There are some women that we support through. There are some women and doulas that support. We support women through fertility. We support them through abortions. We support people through death. So there's different types of doulas, but the main one are those that support women throughout birth and the postpartum period.
Okay, so you do the birth part, the through the birthing process, through
Hmm.
having the child,
Yep.
and
So I'm
after.
there for you through pregnancy. I'm there for you through the birthing process. I'm there for you after you have the baby. I don't necessarily do postpartum care. Well, it depends. Sometimes I do. But
I know.
I can help support women through lactation and support women and birthing persons through lactation and breast and chest feeding as well.
Okay, cool. Well, how did you get it started with this?
It was kind of a natural process, I would say, probably. I was the person who was obsessed with babies and with kids and pregnancy growing up. I was the family babysitter, so just about all of my cousins that were beneath me, from the time that I was like 8.5 on, I babysat them all. And I was very integral in a lot of their lives. So I would think that it was just a natural process. And that continued on through like high school. It continued on in college. I used to collect people's kids. So it was just kind of a natural process. So when I had lost my job from a union back in 2010, I was just kind of like sitting there. You know how you sit in your house wondering like, oh, what am I going to do with myself now?
Right.
And I used to always watch things like Maternity Ward on Discovery Health Channel and Birth Story and all of that type of stuff. And being in Chicago, you don't hear a lot about midwives or doulas or things like
Right.
that, especially in our communities. We were like non-existent at the time. And there was there was a world of it, but of course it was a Caucasian world of it.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
but my mom had given me this article talking about doulas, and then I saw, this information for like Chicago volunteer doulas, and it was like right after I had started researching it, and so it just kind of was a natural process that I fell into.
Okay, cool. So you've been doing this since 2010?
Yep, yes,
Wow.
I have.
And how many, if I don't know if you can tell me this or not, but I'm gonna ask, like, how many babies have you, like,
Honestly, I actually lost count a couple years back when I took a break. But I know I'm around 100 so far, if
wow,
not
that's
more.
amazing.
But I would say around 100.
So how is, I guess, tell us about I guess the experience itself that you've had with people.
So every birth, every family, every mother baby couple, every single one is different, and every single, even if I come back and I'm supporting a family a second or a third time,
Mhm.
every single process is different. I think birth is one of the most beautiful and one of the most magical moments that you could ever be invited, that could ever happen in somebody's life, and to
Right.
be invited into that moment and to be sharing that very intimate and very sacred space, with not only that birthing person, but also with that family, and being there for those initial moments and that initial family bond. It's just something really amazing, and to see the transition that my clients take from the moments that they might find out that they're pregnant, um, through the difficulties, or even a lot of people have really smooth pregnancies,
Mhm.
and just kind of going through that and seeing the transition of them from becoming like this person into like this parent and
Yes.
caring for another individual, or this expansion of two becoming three or four becoming five, and seeing siblings becoming older, older caring siblings, and it's just a really amazing process. And it's really an amazing experience to be a part of, because every single one is different, and in every single one I play a different role. Sometimes it's actively being involved with the birthing process. Sometimes sometimes a doula is just somebody sitting in a corner, or
Mm-hmm.
just being, the person that you can call on the phone no matter the time, night or day, because, you know, shit's just going wrong, or you just
Right.
want to talk to somebody, or
Yeah.
you're having issues with your significant other, and only the doula can understand, because nobody ever talks about the relationship changes that happens either.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
I
yeah.
do.
Yes, yes, and that's what I'm saying. That's an awesome support to have. I know that my great great grandmother was a midwife. And she passed when I was young. I think I may have been between 7 and 10. So I never got to, really speak with her and find out, what that was about. But I didn't know that until actually I got grown, that she was a midwife. Because my grandmother, tells me stories about, because that's who basically raised her.
And we were the ones who were birthing babies. It wasn't white women going around the
He
neighborhoods and
was doing it for
walking and
them.
carrying bags to go and birth babies. It was us who was going into those white neighborhoods and birthing those white babies. Just like we were walking around our own neighborhoods, walking around farms, and going miles to birth babies.
Yeah.
Granny midwives were not only there to birth babies, but they were pillars of the community.
Yes.
They were the ones who, if a family needed medical attention, they were the ones that everyone ran to. If a family
Hmm.
needed food or clothing or anything like that, a midwife was the one. Us, our midwives, our
Yes.
grandmothers, our
Yes.
great great grandmothers, our great grandmothers were the ones that went and made sure that the community was fed. They were the ones, a lot of times,
Hmm.
that organized different types of community drives and events and activities. They were the ones that the community depended on.
Yeah.
Um, and then they ripped that away from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they literally ripped it away from us.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. And you're right. And that's what I said. I didn't learn that until I got, older. And she was, talking about how they would all come to her to, because, baby needed to be born or somebody was sick or something was going on,
What was her name?
her name was Hattie. I believe it was Arnold. Hattie
Eddie
Arnold.
Arnold is your great great grand
Great.
sister. She is like one of the most famous granny black midwives we, honey.
What?
You
Oh
need to
my God. No,
you need
I'm
to
gonna have
check
to
out
call
her.
you. Listen, we're
Hattie
gonna
Arnold is your
call
great great grandmother.
my
There are
great
stories about her.
great. Yes.
You need
If
to
yes,
research
I'm
her. There's so much information. You making me too. There's so much information
oh
there.
wow. I'm gonna
Like,
have to call you when I go down to grandma. So yeah, because I mean, she
I want to go visit the family who could tell those stories too. I'm coming with you.
because yes, we gotta talk about that. But okay, yeah, and you're right. Doulas are so needed, Dr. Deborah. I didn't know about them, but I mean, when I was pregnant, and that's the thing, it's great to have a support, because you go to an office, you talk to the doctor, they say, oh well, this and that, basically there's no type of emotional support um for
And a lot
you.
of times those doctors are basing things in fear tactics and fear mongering. So
And
what
they
they
come up
do is
with
they
things.
tell you, "Oh, you need to do this because your baby is at risk. Oh, you need to have this test because, we want to make sure
Mhm.
that, your baby isn't part of the 0.9% percentile that may be at risk of developing this illness." And they do a lot of fear mongering. And now is the holiday season. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. This whole
Mhm.
season, especially going into Christmas, now
Right.
is a time in which they want to schedule their deliveries because they want to spend holidays and vacations with their families or out of town. So this is a
Right.
season of inductions.
Mhm.
And everybody who is pregnant right now should stave off of an induction, because it is not for you and the health of your baby. It's for them and their convenience.
Right. Because if I can get you out the way, then I can go on and do what I need to do. And that's basically how it felt. I
The
mean,
majority of inductions happen between the hours of 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday.
wow. And it's not even something that's needed. It's something for the person, for the mother and the child. It's something that's,
Some of them are medically necessary, but the majority of inductions these days are not
oh,
medically necessary.
I'm
And if you do one when your body's not ready to have a baby, it will be a failed induction, and you will have a baby one way or the other.
wow, yeah. So let's talk
But
about
not to put in like fear or anything like
yeah.
that. That's just to say, find out research. A lot of people spend thousands of dollars every
Mhm,
single year on an 1 hour wedding. They'll spend $20,000 really, really quick and in a hurry on
mhm.
a wedding, which is, actually most weddings are around 20 minutes tops.
Right. They're
Think
not
about
long at
it.
all.
When you're really paying for the party afterwards with all of your friends to get drunk.
Hmm.
But a doula, it could be, as much as a tenth of that cost. My services are anywhere between, depending on what you want, between about, $480 to about $1,480, depending on the level of services that you want. But
Hmm.
people don't want to make that investment in order to have a safer
Hmm.
birthing experience and to have someone that is advocating on your behalf,
Oh yeah.
and teaching you to think the ins and outs of what they do. A lot of times your doulas will go over with you childbirthing techniques. With all of my clients, no matter who you are, we go over different types of comfort techniques to get you through the birthing process. And I go over those comfort techniques not only with you, but
Hmm.
also with whoever you plan on having in that birthing space with you, whether you're at home, you're at the hospital, you're at a birth center, it doesn't matter. I follow you where you go.
Okay.
There are virtual services that are available. A lot of times I'm on the phone with my clients for days and hours beforehand, getting them through that process getting them to the point until they actually need me to be there by their side.
Hmm.
Um, So it really is just a matter of you can figure out what you want. Doulas offers all different types of services, but get yourself a doula. A lot
Get
of them
you a
are
doula.
flexible. A lot of them work with families. A lot of them have different types of payment plans or payment schedules or payment fees. Anybody who contacts me off of Say Something will get a 15% discount. If
Okay.
I'm having a sale that week, yes, that discount goes in addition to the sale. So, this is the
Right.
holiday season. You might get as much as, 35, 38% off of doula service. That's a lot.
Right. You gotta think about that. Like, hey, well, look, she done said it now. So if
I
you're,
did say it and I'm a hold to it because that's what homegirls do.
oh yeah, she is a home girl, baby.
But, a lot of times people will say afterwards, "Oh, I should have got a doula." I can't tell you how many of my friends, families, associates, they know what I do.
Mhm.
Um, And afterwards, they'll say, "You know what? I really should have had you as my doula." Yeah, you should have. And I told you that while you was pregnant.
Yeah.
But also, you're not going to get this for free because I paid for me to have to have this education, and I invested in myself to have this knowledge. And
Oh
it
yeah.
takes time and energy. You invest a lot of energy into every single
Right.
one of your clients. I am committed to all of my clients.
Yeah. And I'm, they
I just had a client
social.
that we were in
Yeah, we were
prodromal
training.
labor for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just her in that labor, that's me too.
Yeah. Yes. So is that the longest like birth or
I would say that she kind of knocked my 2 weeker out the box. So I did have a client who was she was in and out of prodromal labor, and for those of you who don't know what prodromal labor it is, it's early labor. It's when your body is thinking about having a baby, but not really into having the baby yet. You're
oh
kind of dilating slowly, but it's taking like instead of taking like a couple hour a couple hours. But instead of taking like a day or two, it's taking,
Weeks.
3 or 4 days or 2 or 3 weeks,
Right.
on and off. And you're just kind of in and out of, discomfort for that time.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, she kind of knocked my 2-weeker out the box.
Wow.
But we had a healthy, beautiful baby boy at the end who was still born naturally. And if that mom was not allowed to just kind of go through that birthing process naturally and having the advocacy and the advice, being able to call me and say, hey, what do you think? I'm getting really tired. I'm ready to give up. Baby's not stressed out. There's no
Mm.
signs that, I understand you're tired. And of course, it's always
Yeah.
the birthing person's decision, but to be there and be that advocate for her and just that listening ear, it
Mm-hmm.
made that process easier for her to get through it. And also being able to offer comforting techniques, and advice and things like that, and just understanding that and having that space for her.
Yeah, and being the voice of reason because
Exactly.
we get she's tired, so she's emotional at that point, and it may not have been the best decision for the child because a lot of things can happen.
And everybody doesn't have a good, clear history, so to say. There are people who have trauma. And as a doula,
Yeah.
sometimes my responsibility ends up being, I'm a quasi counselor in a way. Sometimes birth stalls, or that process stalls, because there's trauma
Mm-hmm.
and it's unresolved. And sometimes we end up helping moms resolve trauma, so that they can give birth to their beautiful babies.
Okay, so where I guess I'm trying to say, like, where have most of the births that you've done have been? Have they been home? Have they been in the hospital or?
So the majority, of my births, of course, initially were always in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Especially coming from Illinois, there was no such thing as, like, you know, having a home birth or a birth center birth originally. But now it's starting to transition and it's starting to change. Yes, women are still having homes or births in hospitals, but now home births are becoming more prevalent.
Yeah.
My first home birth was about 10 years ago. It was a beautiful, beautiful birth. It
Yeah.
did take place over a couple of days, but it was a beautiful and gorgeous birth. And it was the first one that I ever experienced. And now we're coming back to that. And
Oh,
it's good to see people
yeah.
coming back, women and families coming back to
Mm-hmm.
taking control of their births and taking control of their bodies back. And saying that no, it is safer to birth at home. There was literally just a study put out yesterday, and I'm actually getting ready to post it on my Facebook page. But it was a study about birth centers and home births,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, it's safer. It's
Yeah.
safer than being in a hospital. It is comparably so, because there's not as much room for contamination. They're not rushing you. You're in the comfort of your own homes.
Yeah.
Women and birthing persons in their own homes are more comfortable and more relaxed, and it has been
Oh, yeah.
proven to be so. And so it just turns out to be a better birthing environment. And also, you can
Mhm.
have whoever you want in your house.
Yeah. Because then
You
at the
can also
hospital you're
kick people
limited.
out.
Right. Yeah. Right. You can let them in or put them out, but yeah, the hospital is limited as far as to who you can have in there. And you're right as far as contamination because I gotta tell my mama that that's where all the germs go.
Exactly. And no
That's
matter how much they try to clean it, it's never clean.
yeah. It's not. It can
And
never.
also, birth centers are on the rise.
Yeah,
There
I've
has
seen
just
that
been
also.
legislation that has been passed or very close to passing it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
legislation that has been going on since before I became a doula in 2020, in 2010 in Illinois, that is
Hmm.
just passed, for certified, professional midwives and for birthing centers and things like that. So that's really exciting. It actually makes me
Oh
want to think
yeah.
about going home a little bit,
Yeah.
to open up my birth center. But things are happening, and as long as women demand it and birthing persons demand it, they
Mm-hmm.
have to supply it. So call your insurance companies, demand that they cover your doula. Demand that they cover your lactation consultants fees. Demand that they cover perinatal psychologists and different things like that, because postpartum depression is also very real.
Right.
Demand that they cover your placenta encapsulations. I do that too.
Okay.
I just made a whole package. My mom doesn't swallow pills. Okay, so I made her placenta chocolates.
Well,
And they look
hey.
good too, by the way. They taste really good. And I was just like, ooh, those, I put my foot in them.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, things like placenta encapsulation. Do you know that placenta encapsulations help prevent mom from, it supports women in a lot of different ways. Helps to prevent chances of postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to increase your energy after having a baby. It also helps to increase and reestablish your milk supply. If you turn it into a tincture, you can keep it lifelong.
Hmm.
And then that can later be used. That's a remedy that is literally the DNA of both mom and baby. It's a lifelong cure all for the both of them,
Oh wow.
literally. Um, and
But
so it
don't
can be
tell you
used
this
for
when you go to
healing.
the
It can be
doctor.
used for when you're sick. It can be used for cuts, scrapes, and bruises. It's a
Hmm.
placenta. It's a cure all. There's stem cells in there.
Oh wow. And that's amazing. I never even knew it was that. I knew it was something that was good for the baby, but I didn't know it, know it had so many other benefits to it. But I mean, God created us to be, you know,
Hmm.
self-sustaining. Though, like I said, the hospital or the doctor is not going to tell you any of this because, of course, they're going to take it and use it to
I mean,
whatever.
but if you think about it, placenta is used in everything. It's used in hair
Well,
care products. It's used in,
mm,
you can actually buy placenta pills. It'll be like sheep or goat or something like that. But you can buy placenta pills. People use them for their skincare.
mm.
People use them for stem cells. People use placentas, animal placentas, all the time. And what do you think they do when they take your placentas at the
That's
hospital?
what I'm saying. They
Do
take them
you
and they
think that they
use them.
really throw those things away? No, they use them for testing. They sell them to different schools and organizations for learning and scientific purposes, and they sell them to the cosmetic companies because they use them in their products.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm learning so much.
So why not use your placenta to benefit you, your baby, and your family? It's already DNA. It's already tied to you, and it's basically your cure all that you created within yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Gosh, this is amazing. This is amazing stuff. Thank y'all for the comments. I appreciate it. She appreciates it. Good morning to everybody. We hadn't spoke to because we've been chatting. Um,
So, Dr. Deborah, you asked about, I'm sorry, I'm just now starting to look at the comments because I was
yeah.
on the wrong part. So, Dr. Deborah, you asked about a grant money for teen girls for giving birth. Let me tell you what Dove does. Dove has a grant for Black women to get doulas. It's like the Dove Birth Equity Grant or something like that. But Dove has a grant for Black women to apply to, and they give you money for you to get yourself a doula.
All right, y'all. You hear it. You heard it here. If you didn't know that already,
If you are looking for a doula, there are a few different websites that you can go to. You can go to doulamatch.net.
mm,
They have doulas all across the world. You can also go to blackdoulas.org if you're looking for a Black doula. And then also the Sister Midwife Directory is a good resource for Black doulas as well.
or you can contact
Or you
Kay.
can contact me because I'm available. I do in person as well as virtual services. I am available in the DMV area and sometimes the PE and the DE, or the PA and the DE as well, depending on how far you are from my house, but my last birth was definitely in Delaware.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, you be traveling then,
Oh
traveling to
yeah,
get them babies.
I travel. I've had births back home too.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
So that's awesome. But this is her information, y'all. This is Kay with Kindred Birth. Well, Lord, don't let me mess up Kindred
You can
Spirit.
find me on Facebook at KF Harvey. You can also find me at my website, which is kindredbirth.com, or you can email me at contact@kindredbirth.com.
All right. Well, that's it.
Or
Any
you can
last
call me or
oh
text me. I have a phone, of
well,
course.
what's the phone number?
It is
I know the number.
443-563-8375.
I don't feel like looking at my phone. Let me make sure it's right. Oh,
Yep, that's it.
uh, 443-563-8375.
Mhm.
And this is Kay. Any last words for the people?
You know what? All I can do, especially for birthing Black women and persons, it does not matter who you are. I don't care if you're rich, you're poor. Get yourself a doula. There are organizations that offer doula services. I offer doula services at a sliding scale rate. Also, anyone who contacts me and says and mentions say something will get a 15% discount off of services. It is the holiday season, so you can expect for some sales to roll out on my website. So, combining that with some other stuff could actually end up at a pretty steep discount. But I will hold true to any and everything that I say. So it does not matter who you are, it does not matter where you are, what country you're in, what state you're in. Um, Definitely get yourself a doula. Even if you don't have your doula on site with you, your doulas can be available to you by phone. This is technology.
Right.
We have
FaceTime.
iPhones and everything else, Duo, and everything else these days.
Yeah.
But have someone who's advocating on your behalf. If you are breastfeeding, get a lactation consultant or breastfeeding counselor or somebody who can help you out with that if you need it. Don't just sit there and go through it by yourself. There
Yeah.
is support out here. We are here for all of you. We work with different types of families, different birthing persons. We don't care. We just want to make sure that you have a positive and a blessed birthing experience. So, with that being said, I am Kay Harvey Bonham, because I'm married now,
She's married.
from Kindred Spirits Family Birth Partners, where we enlighten minds and embrace birth.
All right, my sister. That was wonderful. Thank you. Y'all heard it here. You heard it from her mouth. I'm not gonna say who else's mouth, but you heard it from her herself. Get you a doula. Get you a doula. Because I show, I truly believe that it would have been helpful for me with my pregnancy. So hey, the resource
We
is
all have
available.
stories of what we should
Yeah.
have did and what we could have had. I wish I had a doula. I knew about them vaguely, but I didn't have one. I wish I did.
Yes.
Um, but that's why I'm here to help other women make sure that they have one, or other birthing persons to ensure that they have one.
Yeah.
So if you need one, call me. We'll find you one,
Absolutely. Reach out to
or
her.
we'll have me. It does not matter. Um, there's a doula for everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, thank you. I thank you. And thank you, sincere. You're very welcome. But thank you, Kay. I really, really I'm so, humbled for you joining me,
Oh, you
sharing
got
your
knowledge,
awesomeness.
girl. Yes, I'm taking that trip with you.
I know we're gonna talk, but I'm gonna put you in the back for a minute and I'll be right back with you. So
Bye, everybody.
all right, you guys, and thank you all for joining us again. Whether catching it live here on Facebook or on YouTube, don't forget to share, like, comment, subscribe, all of that great stuff. My awesome guest, as usual, had a lot of information. So for those of you who are pregnant now, you don't have a doula. check out Dove, because she said they are offering grants for people who are, looking to get a doula. So, I mean, you could be awarded a grant and get a doula and help you with that process. Because, as she said, you don't have to do it alone. This is a resource for you all to take advantage of. But thank you again for joining us on What's Your Story, where we share, empower, heal, and inspire. My name again is Shenrika Crawford Benjamin. I am the hostess with the mostest. Thank you all for joining us for your midweek awesomeness. Hope you have an awesome rest of your week. You all take care.